On this episode, we're talking about trades, free agency, maybe some new releases.
Ooh, maybe.
We might do Copper Drop.
We could.
And some fire heat on the feet.
Don't tempt me.
Episode 67, let's go. You got it.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sneaks and Stats podcast, episode 67. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful No, it's not Monday.
No.
What day is it?
Today is Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, so that means Thursday. Close. I was really close. Summer.
It is summer. It is summer, yeah.
Nobody knows what day it is.
No.
Do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Check us out on Instagram. Follow us there. TikTok, X, and Threads.
How many is that?
5. I am the statistical father.
And I am Sneaker Peter Onovich. I got a funny 67 for you. Let's see if you can guess it. He is a power forward center, notably known for the Bulls, playing on the Bulls.
Taj Gibson.
High five. He wore that number with the
Knicks, right?
Wolves, the Knicks, the Wizards, Pistons, and the Hornets.
There's got to be a clip out there of him talking about why 67. I definitely would be curious because
really,
he was 22 with the Bulls.
Yeah,
and there's definitely no 67 on the Bulls that was retired or anything weird like that.
I think it was 64 or 65 and up, where there's no one really.
There's not really,
that wears any except for him and Luka probably. So
Luka, George Mirasan also 77.
Yeah,
so
George Mirasan.
There's a handful.
Yeah.
Some 90s, Rodman.
Some 90s, yeah. We even have a 00.
They
gave that to Clarkson, right?
00 was Clarkson.
Yeah.
The Chief, Robert Parrish, of course, pretty famously.
That's right.
I feel like Robert Parrish is the most famous. 00. 00 is sick.
Right.
I love 00.
It is dope. It reminds me of hockey, kind of.
I get that.
Yeah. Hockey don't have single digit numbers.
They're pucks.
Before we get into some round ball, we're going to get into some smaller stick round ball with sticks.
Oh.
Kershaw's
Croquet.
Kershaw's going to pitch tonight against the White Sox with 3 strikeouts left to hit 3,000. Coming from Dodger fans, that is the GOAT, and we hope you get it.
Unanimous Hall of Famer. We're going to go ahead and say congratulations prematurely. We know he's doing it. He's getting it done.
Yeah. And real quick, he did it in, I think, under 3,000 games, and the majority of the 20 guys that did it over 3,000 games. One guy even did it in 6,000 games or something like that. So it's like kind of crazy that he was able to do it.
Games.
I was like, so pretty impressive to be able to do it under the 3,000, which is kind of like the mark, right? So
no, that's pretty amazing.
Shout out to the GOAT.
Yeah, definitely the GOAT. That's exciting. NBA is done. MLB All-Star Game coming out soon. Mm-hmm. That's going to be fun. We know the starters right now.
All Dodgers.
It should be. Shout out to Freddie and Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Super well deserved. Will Smith, man.
Dude.
Watch out.
That
guy is
on fire.
Crazy on fire.
The Fresh Prince.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
The slapster.
The slapster. Also.
Double also.
Carlos Alcaraz was in another 5-set match. Wimbledon is on right now.
Wimbledon is on.
It's first couple rounds.
Coco Gauff eliminated in the second round.
Oh, and Alex Ayala, the only Filipina tennis player, she just got. But I mean, shout out to her getting into the Wimbledon tournament. She's only 16, 17 years old. Shout out to her. But Coco Gauff, I did not know that.
That was a big one.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was huge upset, but it happens.
But speaking of the NBA,
free agency
it's the most entertaining part.
Is here
of this.
According
of the offseason.
According to ESPN, this is the most entertaining part of all of the NBA.
Yeah. Real quick. Do you like that it's in the afternoon now, or do you miss the midnight thing?
I like the afternoon. I like
Do you?
that.
Like, also because we're all awake.
Yeah.
And we're here for it.
It's fun waking up or like staying up late.
Yeah. You don't like my phone calls at 10:30? We got Luka, bro.
That was pretty crazy. One of my favorite phone calls I've gotten.
You were like, yeah, what's up, man? Like,
Dude, we got Luca. Why are you prank calling me at 10 o'clock at night?
I'm going to sleep, man.
Really calm about it, too. It's pretty weird.
Right. There is like a fun element to, like, oh, I'm about to knock out. Holy moly,
I need to
like
find out everything.
Someone went, yeah. And then in the morning, there's like a Woj bomb.
I was talking to you about how weird it is that, the NBA has leaned into it hard. I feel like even maybe more so than any other free agency, like NBA free agency is a frenzy of activity. Like, and it used to be, like you said, it was like midnight, July 1st, July 4th, whatever. It was like, it's on. Like, all these deals come out because all the deals are already made.
Yeah.
And so the NBA has tweaked it where now the very first day after the last day of the season, so the last game of the finals, teams can start negotiating with their own players that are currently or were previously under contract. And then a couple days later, which I think it ended up being June 30th this year, teams can start negotiating with all the players, but the deals can't be signed until a week later on the 6th, which is just funny. Like, just let them sign. The deals are done. Like,
well, what's the deal with the week, right? Like,
I guess maybe the motive behind
cold
it
feet,
is like,
just in case.
Yeah, I guess it gives the teams maybe an extra chance of like, okay, we're gonna offer you 4 years, 120 million, and they're like, oh, we actually just traded for Giannis, so
maybe like a restructuring.
We can't actually sign you. Maybe, I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah,
because all these deals that are not done but done, that's what we're going to talk about today. Is all these deals that we're not supposed to, I don't know. I don't know if we're supposed to know them or if we're not supposed to know them, but they're pretty much. That's how it goes in the NBA. They're pretty much finalized. We're not
supposed to know them, but Shams is going to rat them out.
Yes,
you know what I mean. It's funny that you brought it up because I never really thought about it, but it is funny. Hey, yeah, I'll sign with you guys. Okay, see you next week. See you next week. What?
I think that's pretty new though, because before it used to be like you said, it was like, okay, midnight free agency opens, and then you'd have all the big deals happen all at once. Because even though they weren't supposed to, all the teams were meeting with these guys earlier in the year, in the offseason. So I guess it works out that it makes tampering harder, which is nice. You don't want your team to lose a draft pick because they tampered. But at the same time, it's just kind of funny. Like, okay, if you're gonna make it earlier, just make the whole thing earlier. Why are we waiting a week? Maybe there's a good reason behind it.
We got to look into that for sure. I'm instantly reminded of Magic. I was outside LeBron's house an hour before. Remember that? And once it hit 9, I was knocking on that door.
Magic was definitely a funny Lakers GM.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Interesting tenor. Finding out LeBron signed with the Lakers was super fun. And I was telling you, particularly finding out that Steve Nash got traded to the Lakers, or signed with the Lakers. I think that was on 4th of July. That was super crazy too.
It was.
That was like, oh, the Lakers are back. And then that year was awful.
It was not good.
But NBA free agency of 2025 is here.
Yeah.
And
big names.
Already been. It's we were talking about how Sham said it's going to be a crazy offseason. I feel like it's been pretty unpredictable. It's not like, the big names that have been rumored to move, like Giannis and now LeBron, which we'll talk about a little bit. They haven't been moved. So it's not like the big names, but just weird stuff, I feel like.
Lots of pockets of the day, too, where you don't really hear much. Or I feel like usually in the past you hear something every hour throughout the day. A lot of it happened to that first day, too. A lot of the big dominoes fell. Let's start throwing some names out there. Kevin Durant.
Durant, we talked about in the last episode. The Rockets as a team have knocked free agency out of the park. We'll go through a few re-signings. So, Kyrie re-signed with the Mavs, 3 years, 119 million. Re-signings and extensions, I guess we can call them. Fred VanVleet did extend his contract, 2 years, 50 million. I think I like that deal. I feel like that's fair money, not a long-term deal. Gives the Rockets a lot of flexibility.
Great point guard.
Julius Randle, 3-year, $100 million contract extension with the Wolves and a player option in year 3.
Which triggered Nickeil Alexander-Walker going to the Hawks because they could not afford him anymore.
Yes. And in addition, they couldn't afford him because they also extended Nas Reed 5 years, $125 million, with a player option in year 5. So I like that. I like both of those deals. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for those guys. But Julius Randle really showed, hey, I'm worth it. Yeah, he proved us very wrong.
We were saying, you could probably find it in one episode where we were like, he won't do that against us.
It's probably 2 episodes of us being like, okay, he did it, but like he's not going to continue to do well.
and no, he did.
Bobby Portis went back to the Bucks on a 3-year, $44 million deal. I like that for them. Harden stayed with the Clippers.
That one he got paid.
2-year, $81.5 million. Player option, and interestingly, the second year is the player option, but it's only partially guaranteed. So I guess if he gets injured, or I'm not really sure how that works.
Incentives?
Maybe. Yeah. That's a lot of money.
That is a great.
Jaren Jackson Jr. re-signed with the Grizz, 5-year, $240 million. Player option in year 5. I think that's a little bit of an overpay, just a little bit.
And just happened, he just got hurt.
Yeah, he has turf toe.
And it says 4 to 5 months.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Ouch.
Big men in their toes, man.
I know. Probably won't see him until around Christmas.
Dorian Finney-Smith left the Lakers in a what people seem to think is a surprising move. Joined the Rockets, 4-year, $53 million deal. I mean, the height, the ceiling of DFS was good, but with the Lakers, he did not even approach that. He was pretty bad.
He filled in the 5 spot at certain times when we needed him to. I thought he played okay defense, but at his age and with his agent in his ear telling him, this is probably your last big contract.
This is your last big contract.
3 to 4 years. I don't blame him for leaving. It's just a shock to Laker fans because you thought he was coming back. But in terms of his own life and career, thought it was the right move. And he went to a team that will be a contender.
Man, yeah. The other Rockets' big signing is they brought back Clint Capella, 3-year, $21.5 million deal. I love that deal.
I wanted to ask you about that. Is it funny to you that they re-signed Steven Adams and then got him as well?
I mean, it is strange, in this day and age of the NBA, but they went with the double big with Şengün and Adams.
Yeah, that's true.
When Adams was healthy, and I mean,
they have rebounding machines.
And they are gonna good luck going into the paint. They are going to beat you up.
There's no room.
But that rotation is crazy. I mean, Steven Adams has got to be the 3rd rung on that ladder, but
you think so? I think it would be Clint.
You think they're gonna have Capella?
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll start Steven Adams at the 5 and Şengün at the 4. They've got crazy length and strength.
Yes.
Length and strength.
You think Clint is still the lob guy that he used to be? I think he fell off a little bit.
He needs a guy to do it with. I don't picture Fred VanVleet as being that guy.
True. Yeah.
So his role there will be interesting.
Get aboard.
We're gonna dive into some rosters a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Well.
Okay.
So we can kind of go over that. They're one of our teams we want to look at, but I like that deal. Around 7 a year. That's really not too bad. And just from the Hawks front, since they didn't get anything in return for him, it at least allows Onyeka Okongwu to play the minutes that he deserves.
Yes,
that guy is pretty darn nice.
He is awesome. We should Hills, baby.
Maybe talk about the Hawks too, because you brought up some interesting stuff for them.
Yes.
Other big moves, or significant moves, I should say, for the Lakers, all our Lakers fans. Jake LaRavia, 2-year, $12 million deal. We'll see how that could...
Sneaky athletic.
Real gym rat.
just saying, man. They showed highlights of the alley-oops. That guy can get up.
He's got bounce, man.
But we'll see.
All the terms you use to describe athletic white guys in the NBA, they apply to him.
And that guy can jump. How do you feel? Do you think that's the DFS replacement?
No,
right? No. I mean, yeah.
DFS still was a pretty darn good defender.
Yeah.
But if we could add this guy, Jake LaRavia, feel him out, see how he is. If he could, shoot the 3, that'd be nice.
Okay.
But I would still like. I'm not even entirely sure who would be available, but like we need a defensive.
We need to replace his replacement for sure.
So he was shooting pretty decently from three. Not huge numbers as far as attempts. Only 2.2 attempts last season. He spent 47 games with Memphis and then ended up in Sacramento to finish the year. But he was shooting, about 42% on average. So that's pretty nice. I mean, a 42% shooter, if we could get anything like that, even for only two, threes a game, you would want to see that go up for sure.
Yeah, I think that was a hopeful signing, hoping, let's try him out for 10, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, see if he can get carve out a role for himself.
This is like the 8th year in a row of the Lakers not signing the free agents that they are supposedly going after.
Thank you for bringing that up. I saw the last offseason trade we made was the Pat Beverly one in 2022.
Awful.
Awful and terrible.
Along those lines, Miles Turner signed with the Milwaukee Bucks on a 4-year, $107 million deal with a player option year 4, which he will replace Brook Lopez, who signed with the Clippers on a 2-year, $18 million deal. That is a great deal for the Clips. Yeah. So those are the two guys that the Lakers were supposedly looking at. Mm-hmm. And, they both got away. Indy fans are super upset that the Pacers ownership didn't put more money into keeping Miles Turner because, they were 41 minutes away from a championship with that core.
Yeah.
And the fact that, maybe they can find someone next offseason to replace Miles Turner, but that's easier said than done, man. Miles, I like Miles Turner a lot. I thought he played really well this offseason.
From what we've seen in teams looking for bigs, it's slim pickings, bro. Right? Not a lot, especially this offseason. A lot of them are signed first day.
And I think the ones that you thought maybe would be on the move, Jaren Jackson Jr.'s had some buzz. Nas Reed, I feel like it seemed like it was going to be a tough road for him to find the right money in Minnesota, but these guys all stayed, so that's
crazy.
That's rough. But the Los Angeles Lakers did settle on DeAndre Ayton, dominating, baby.
Who cleared waivers today.
I don't know. Let me see if the details of his deal have come out.
Yeah, we were talking about that briefly. I know it's a big amount of money for this year alone.
2-year deal with us. Let's see what they
34 or something like that. I want to say
a reportedly 2-year $16 million.
What a deal! What a steal!
2-year $16 million contract. That's a good deal.
Oh, I'm
okay
cheap.
with that.
That's very cheap.
I am. I'm tentatively excited about DeAndre Ayton. I have not liked what I've seen from him in his NBA career so far. Mm-hmm. He went to the Blazers after that weird Suns offseason and a few years ago, and really just never made as much noise as I thought he would. I don't think everyone I think thought his numbers would at least be better on a pretty darn bad Blazers team. So I don't know. The defense I think will be good enough, better than what we've had the last season especially. But we were talking, before. I just don't know if he's the right lob, rim running kind of guy to pair with Luka in that sense. But who knows? The Lakers really have kind of come through at the deadline every single year to make something out of seemingly nothing. So maybe we'll end up with somebody, someone that can be a little more bounce to him.
The trade option is still there too, depending on who you're going after. Obviously, it just started 2 days ago. I like the move, but I'm enjoying it carefully, right? And kind of tiptoeing, and hopefully that, with the hopes of him putting in a good effort, because when he's right and he's healthy, pretty good player, man.
He's got to get his mind right. I think after losing in the finals, it seemed like he just wasn't really there, and then especially in Portland, it just seemed like he doesn't care.
Yeah.
So, he's gonna have to focus. I think it's interesting that he's with Luka. Draft classmates.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's right. He was 1, and then Luka was
3.
and then traded right to the Mavericks.
Yep.
Crazy.
For Trey, who was 5, I think.
Yes.
So kind of interesting storyline there.
The hope is that this change of scenery and the Lakers organization can turn him around, right?
It'll be interesting to see, if we keep Jackson Hayes. Again, we'll go do some roster breakdowns a little later. I think he's more or less gone. I think
so too.
No interest in either side to renew that relationship.
Yeah, there was also a rumor that he was unhappy with his role in minutes.
Yeah,
with JJ, so
I
can see him leaving.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back. But Aiden, plus if we can get some other serviceable center off the bench, which, like you mentioned, is going to be easier said than done. That's some good bodies to throw at Jokic. Plus Rui guards Jokic just about well as you can.
That's a good point. I like that you brought that up.
We'll see, but
interesting point that Windhorse brought up though is that the Clippers getting Brook Lopez, who the Lakers had interest in early, for the deal they got to be the backup, kind of bugs me that should have been a move that we went for, that the Lakers went for.
Well, I think that's the crux of it all, right? Is like, okay, why every year we hear we're interested in Miles Turner, we're interested in these free agents, and they're just not getting to LA. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be the Lakers, the second most storied franchise in the NBA, the number one destination to play basketball in the NBA.
New owners,
which maybe that scared people away, or maybe it made it more difficult to pitch.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Would you be ready to move on from Rob Pelinka with this new ownership group?
It really depends if that's the direction they're going. I kind of liked that Rob. I'm one of the ones that like Rob as the GM for the Lakers. I think he has a good sense of what we need and has done good moves. And the year that we don't like is the year we got Russ and those guys. But I truly believe that LeBron had some say in that too.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
So other than that, I think the other years he did great. Obviously with Nico Harrison, he brought Luka here. He got the Mark Williams thing would have been great too if there wasn't the whole physical thing. So
yeah, super weird situation, and especially since he was also traded this offseason to the Suns, which I believe we mentioned. It would have been nice to get back in that action, but maybe that whole thing soured.
No, for sure. I mean, I don't
Mark
see.
Williams didn't want to come here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's tough to say with Pelinka because again, I do really think that the Lakers at the deadline have been able to make good enough moves to keep the team together and into the playoffs. But you got to wonder how much Pelinka has been pigeonholed by Jeanie Buss's relationship with LeBron and other players on the team, and LeBron, how much control does he have over the roster? That's always, a topic of conversation with him. So LeBron's time with the Lakers, one way or another, is coming to an end. So not this season, I don't think, but maybe Pelinka, if he gets another shot after this season, will be able to make some more kind of interesting moves.
And you think he would? He just got extended, right?
Yeah.
Also, interesting to think about is how involved is Mark Walters and the group with the additions to the team for the season, right?
Especially being a minority owner already.
Yeah.
He had at least been able to talk to these guys.
Yeah,
and, they have a prior already. Relationship. Yeah.
Yes.
There's some more stuff to talk about with LeBron too, but we'll power through the rest of these kind of notable free agents. D'Angelo Russell, the go-to guy for when your star point guard's hurt. What did you see?
I love that you said that.
2-year, $13 million deal with the Mavericks with the player option in year 2. That's a great deal. I wonder if D'Lo thinks he's worth a little more money, but I think that's a great deal. That's a great deal for the Mavs.
I mean,
good guy to have.
You were replacing. Who are they replacing there? Anybody?
In Dallas?
Oh, basically
covering Kyrie.
Kyrie, yeah.
And I think he'll be able to maybe fit in as a 2,
Yeah.
Once Kyrie's healthy, if Kyrie plays at all this upcoming season. Ty Jerome to the Grizz. Mm-hmm. Grizz are adding some interesting pieces after that trade of Desmond Bane, too. Mm-hmm. They've got a couple of scorers lined up here. A move that scares me as a team in the Western Conference. Bruce Brown to the Nuggets on a vet min.
I know,
1 year deal.
Thinking the Lakers wanted him really badly 2 years ago.
You know he wanted to go to. I think he probably wanted to stay on the Nuggets, but the amount of money that he was offered, he made like $40 million on a 2-year contract after he left the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
So
and just disappeared in Toronto.
Yeah, got paid, and now he's back with the team that I think he truly wants to be with.
Yeah.
On a super team friendly deal. So the Nuggets are loading up. And then another one, a couple more that I like for the Knicks in particular. Jordan Clarkson is joining the Knicks. That deal, the details of that deal haven't come out yet.
Yeah, that's weird. I noticed that too.
Yeah, one of the only ones that there's not a lot of details. And then a guy that may not be a huge impact guy, but I like his hustle a lot. Gershon Yabusele leaving the 76ers, joining the Knicks. I just feel like that's a great fit.
Also, good job getting out of that situation.
Out of Philly?
Yeah. Good job, bro.
Poor Philly, man. What is happening there? They're not on any of these lists. I mean, they don't have the money, but...
Yeah. I'm like, is Maxey available? No, I'm just kidding.
No, but that would be nice.
Hey.
I like Yabusele. I like the hustle. I like the grit. He's...
Huge energy guy.
Strong. He's tough as nails. Good fit in New York, I think. So I like that piece. And, of course, Jordan Clarkson will... His tunnel fits... Watch out, New York.
Mm-hmm. And if you thought those Knick guys were knuckleheads, they're adding another guy.
They're adding square up Clarkson, dude. But he's gonna ball out there. He's gonna have the green light. As you mentioned to me earlier, Mike Brown joining the Knicks, rumored more or less for sure going to be the Knicks head coach. Which that's gonna be fun, man.
Yeah.
That Mike Brown offense in New York.
Yep.
Watch out.
We said it. We didn't think he got a fair shake the way he was treated in Sacramento. So nice to see him get another shot somewhere else.
And then another one for the Nuggets, Tim Hardaway on a 1-year deal, undisclosed details as well.
You like that one, huh?
I like that one.
I think he's very streaky sometimes.
He's too streaky, but I think his role is going to be so limited compared to what it's been in New York and Dallas and Detroit that I think if he comes in off the bench and hits 2 threes, then you're happy.
Then that's what you
got.
That's
all you need.
Yeah, and he's a confident guy, which I like, confident player. So I could definitely see him doing that for them.
What signing in particular has been the one where you're like, wow?
I was really surprised that Michael Porter isn't a Nugget anymore.
So that was a good trade that happened. Michael Porter Jr. to the Nets in exchange for Cam Johnson, and the Nuggets also sent out a unprotected 2032 first round pick, which
also surprising.
You never know, man. Jokic is going to be like in his late 30s at that point, so you just don't know. That pick could be extremely valuable.
That surprised me. Another one that surprised me was obviously Miles Turner going to the Bucks.
Division rival Bucks for the Pacers.
Obviously, he's gonna leave when all the rumors are he's not leaving, right?
Of course.
Like, what the heck, Super surprising, just because we've been speaking over the last few episodes about how Miles Turner is probably the ideal fit for us as a center, just because of all he does and how much we want. And then for us to think he wasn't, and them putting out that he's, they went to the finals, they had all this success, and then he ends up leaving anyway is so surprising. Yeah.
And for Pacers fans, you just got to be
they're the most angry
after 10 years in
Indy
and every single year with a trade rumor attached to it to just walk. Oh man, that's rough.
I'd love to hear that first interview with Miles, his thinking of why he decided to leave.
That's going to be interesting.
How about you? What were some of the ones that caught your eye?
I think probably for me, Bruce Brown back in Denver is makes me nervous.
I think I know. I think that's going to rejuvenate him again.
That's just the perfect pairing for Jokic. That's such a good guy for him. His cuts, his ability to control the game and handle the ball.
Yeah.
Oh man, that
Scary.
That is the one that I'm like, oh man, that's no, thank you. I really, it's really not a hugely impactful signing, but I really like that Yabusele signing for the Knicks. I really feel like that's a great move for all the reasons I already said. So
to have an energy guy like Hartenstein. Oh, that's not the Thunder. What am I thinking of? Who's their big
Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson, who's big energy guy too when he's healthy.
When he can get on the floor.
And then now you have Yabusele, who's like super energetic.
He's gonna come in and wreak havoc.
Yeah, awesome.
Those are kind of the big ones for me. Just from an interesting standpoint. Miles Turner, of course. There's just so much involved in that, and the other side of that coin that we haven't mentioned is that the Bucks have waived and stretched Damian Lillard, who is now a free agent.
Another surprise.
He is, of course, as we've talked about before, dealing with the Achilles tear. Super weird move. Supposedly Giannis is upset, fueling further trade rumors.
Forget where everyone thinks where he's gonna go. Where do you think he's the best fit? Kind of interesting to think about, right? A lot of teams could use a star point guard.
But the thing is that he's not playing this year. I mean, torn Achilles in the playoffs, you're done. You're out for the season. Yeah. I just do not see a world in which he comes back.
The hope is that maybe the playoffs, but we'll see.
And at that point, so it's not with the Bucks, right? It's not with the team that he is familiar with. So even if he was to come back in the playoffs, it's going to be with a new team that he doesn't know. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know his role. I think an interesting one. This would be, I think, maybe the best one. Orlando.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
That's funny that you said Orlando because I'm in the same state, but I said I could see him being on the Heat.
That's supposedly where he wanted to go, right?
He wanted to go there. I mean, yeah.
That team is a little different now. No Jimmy Buckets. Duncan Robinson has been traded to the Pistons.
Hero is their hero.
Hero is their hero. Anti-hero, Taylor Swift. And then, of course, you got Bam. I don't really know. I feel like that if you add a healthy Dame, that team's pretty darn good. But you really don't know what you're getting with Dame on the other side of this.
You're getting Dame for next year.
You're getting Dame when he's, I think, going to be 37. So Twilight Dame for sure. We talked about it when Dame got injured. It's eerily similar to Kobe. Same age. They was in a postseason and they missed almost all of the next year. Their birthdays are about a month apart, so it's really weird how close this is to Kobe's situation. And of course, Kobe hung on for 3 more seasons, but always got a big injury. He missed like 30 games at least every year of the rest of his career, except for that last year somehow. So, and he wasn't the same Kobe. That was it.
That was the main thing.
The straw that broke the camel's back. So, you just don't know what you're gonna get. It's scary,
The hope is that Dame can come back and be some form of himself, right? Obviously, but if history says anything, it's he might not be the same guy. Also,
my heart wants him to go to Portland and just finish his career.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You had a weird pit stop in Milwaukee, but you are a Blazer for life. I don't think that team, if you add Damian Lillard, is going to make any noise. But for the fans and for him, I think that would be incredibly special.
Yeah, bring him back to the West Coast, back to his original team. I personally think, from all that I've read and seen, don't think he was happy in Milwaukee. There was the
whole thing in Milwaukee.
That was just so awkward.
Yeah.
Right? And there was a quote where he said, I don't do much out here. I just play video games at home. So
he also, I mean, this is like outside of basketball and doesn't matter. I think at the time he was traded to Milwaukee, was going through a divorce as well.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So it's like, that's got to be weird to be in a new city. Your family life has completely changed. Like, it's just got to be, awful. It's got to be awful.
Yeah.
So who knows what was going on there?
Yeah.
The buzz is that he will end up in maybe Golden State, Oakland, where he's from. I don't know. That could be interesting. I feel like that would just be fine. He obviously had interest in playing with Jimmy Butler, so maybe that is a real possibility.
Yeah. The Warriors are in the business of collecting all the Infinity Stones now. Let's get Jimmy
Once they
Butler.
get injured, they say, "Hey, DeMarcus Cousins, how's that Achilles?
Come on down."
Maybe an interesting place, but probably wouldn't work. Detroit, maybe.
Don't say that.
That could be interesting.
That team is pretty close to being amazing.
Yeah.
So they have one. I mean, you know already. They have the other Thompson. They just got Duncan Robinson, who's a great 3-and-D guy.
Re-signed Paul Reed, which is not a huge deal, but
Not a huge deal, but you got a
B-ball
big
Paul.
Duran is a freaking freight train.
Super good.
Young team.
Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart is going to find us and beat us up
for this. Well, that's why we're talking good about it, so you don't beat us up.
The other bit of news, I guess, is Giannis trade rumors.
Yeah.
Well, one other bit of news. I don't really see anything for that. I think he's got to be happy. I mean, they lost Brook Lopez, which is one of his guys. They lost Dame, which is his co-star. So he can't be like happy about that. But I mean, bringing in Miles Turner, it's a great move.
And not just him; they re-upped other guys too.
Bobby Portis is probably being the big one. Torian Prince,
Kevin Porter.
Yeah. I don't think that Bucks team is going to be super amazing, but I think Giannis should be happy with what they have at the very least.
Right. Vegas has them as the 8th best team to, or the 8th best team
highest odds.
8th highest odds to get or win the East. So
8th in the East, not the championship.
That's just right now, obviously.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, the East is historically bad this upcoming year because Tatum's hurt. So the Celtics you talked about. I mean, they lost Porzingis. They lost
Drew.
Kornet,
they lost Kornet,
who was a significant rotation piece for them, and they brought back. The return is not the same.
It's not the same at all.
No.
The best piece they got out of the 4 is Anthony Simons, but then you also got Luke Garza, Josh Minot, and Georges Niang. I mean,
Niang's fine, but yeah, that team's not going to be very good.
No eye razors,
especially if supposedly Jaylen Brown was dealing with knee issues all last year. So if he decides to get surgery, which I would, I mean, without Tatum and with that team,
if there was ever a year to do it, right?
Yeah, this is the year. So I don't think the Celtics will be good. The Pacers obviously will not be the same team without Turner and Halliburton. That's rough.
Life comes at you fast.
If you don't stop and take a look around, it'll something. Ferris Bueller.
One of those, yeah.
So eighth in the East. That's rough. I mean, I guess Knicks probably going to be the 1 seed.
Yeah, this is cool. Let's see who you got.
I would say Knicks 1 seed. Maybe Cavs. Cavs have Lonzo. That's another interesting. They traded for Lonzo.
They traded Isaac Okoro.
That's a weird one.
But still have Garland, and
which is also kind of weird.
Really weird. What did they want Lonzo, you think? Maybe for defensive purposes?
I guess just like bring him off the bench, and because he's probably going to be injured anyways. So I don't know.
When he's healthy, not bad defender, and really great passer. So
great passer, but like his playmaking still is not, I think, what it was like in New Orleans first year in Chicago.
Yeah. They had the Hawks at 3.
The Hawks, you brought up a good point that the signing of Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 4-year, $62 million contract. That's a great defensive rotation that you mentioned.
They have 3 guys who are on a defensive, all defensive team. So,
wow. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jalen Johnson,
him and
Dyson Daniels.
And they're all those guys are going to come back from their injury, so they'll be fine.
I think this is the year for Trey to prove himself as either like, hey, I am your star player, or it's time to trade me, essentially. Because like this team is going to be Okongwu's really good. All those guys we just listed are pretty nice. They're going to have Richardsey is still looking
coming
pretty
along,
good. The Hawks are definitely. I would give them. I would probably go
Magic.
Knicks, Cavs, Hawks, Magic. After that, it's Detroit.
Oh yeah, I can't forget them.
Detroit is going to be top 5. Who knows what's going to happen with the Raptors? We haven't really seen Brandon Ingram with that.
We haven't seen them with.
So
yeah, that's true.
Maybe they could sneak in the top 6, I guess.
Yeah.
Celtics could maybe hang around if they have enough Jaylen Brown action.
First year as we're gonna get what I've been talking about too is Jaylen Brown as the main dude.
Well, you are forgetting that Peyton Pritchard is there. He's gonna be the main dude.
My bad. I forgot.
Bulls are gonna be bad.
Yeah, who are these other?
Heat are gonna be, I guess, 7th or 8th seed. Probably.
Yeah.
I really don't think
Brooklyn
will
be bad.
Brooklyn's gonna be bad.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Bucks being 8th kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
They might be. I would concede them 7th above Miami. Mm-hmm. I feel like the Wizards are not going to be very good.
The Heat will be kind of bad too.
Heat are going to be pretty bad. Who else is in?
Yeah, they'll squeak in there. The second half of the 8 for sure.
But anyway, a little distraction. But So I just don't see Giannis being moved, even with the
I don't
Bucks
either.
being supposedly the 8th best team in the East.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the King, LeBron James. There has been a ton of buzz about him wanting to move on from the Lakers, being supposedly unhappy that the Lakers are focusing on Luka now, which, like, duh.
Yeah.
You're 40 and he's 25.
Yeah, of course.
And not being happy with the offseason roster moves, which that's fair.
Fair.
Yeah. But he did opt in to his $52 million contract. So, you signed up for this, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I was listening to Zach Lowe on the Zach Lowe show, and him and a member from the group chat podcast, they were talking about how there's really no trade market for LeBron. It's just too much money. The teams, like, you'd have to bring in a third and maybe fourth team to make the money make sense, and it's going to be way too hard to trade LeBron James. But would he be gutsy enough to ask the Lakers for a contract buyout, which would mean they'll buy him out? He's not buying himself out. It's, hey, give me my 52 and I'm out of here, which is crazy because then the Lakers lose him for nothing. I don't think either of those things are happening. I think it's typical LeBron is unhappy, and
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. It's time to make lemonade out of lemons, dude.
Yeah, but it's this rumor that brings up all these questions, right? Which is why you're bringing up this situation. Like, could he get bought out? Could he get traded? Like you said, he won't. I don't think he would get traded. Who's gonna give up 4 or 5 players at this point, right? And
Who can come up with $52 million for LeBron James?
yeah, and I feel like it's also a thing where it has to be a team that's ready to win now, because you're not gonna keep him for the future. He only has 2, maybe 3 left, if even that.
He's talking about that he really is kind of approaching being done.
Yeah.
So I would put it at 2. This is
Exactly.
the last year of this contract.
So why would he go to a young team?
I
right?
don't see him not finishing his career in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I think most people have said like he wants to finish it in LA, but I guess if he's that unhappy, I really could see him being in Cleveland. Just because,
Right.
I mean, come on.
And people were asking me too. They said, can you see this being his last year or next year, whatever? And I said, well, LeBron is definitely a guy who is gonna announce his retirement before his last season, because he's gonna want that farewell tour, just like Kobe.
He deserves it.
He
All-time
deserves
leading
it.
scorer, but he is the guy.
He's gonna want
wants
that.
it, yeah.
He's for sure gonna want that.
Okay, the other team with buzz for LeBron is he wants to go play with his buddies Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving in
I heard
Dallas.
about that. Yeah.
What about this? I don't know if this works 100% on the money.
Cooper Flag.
Well, if we have to. Give me Clay at 16 million this year.
I guess.
PJ Washington at 14 million.
I'll take that.
And Gafford at 14 million.
I will take Gafford.
I think that gets us pretty close to that number.
Mm-hmm.
You do that? Would you do that deal?
No, but
No?
but I do like Gafford.
I mean, okay, in my head though, PJ Washington. Okay, you slide in for
That's
DFS.
DFS.
Upgrade even for sure.
Gafford can even start over 8.
Gafford starting. Or if
you're gonna make Aiton happy.
yeah, Gafford as starting. He already has played with Luka. We're just bringing over the Mavs. The Lakers are trading. We're trading the entire Lakers roster.
Yeah.
But I mean, just
Hello,
picture
Nico?
it. I mean, look, LeBron James is LeBron James. I want him to stay on the Lakers.
Yes,
but
of course.
if he really wanted out, then you would have. I mean, they might not want to do this. This is a lot of pieces for the Mavs to
This
give
is
up.
probably not even a thought. Just put that out there. Okay?
And I'm playing NBA 2K.
We're putting imaginary
yeah.
right now. Okay, yeah.
So you have your starting 5 as Lakers if you finish this. Luka,
Dirk.
Reeve. Let's say we clone Michael Jordan. We age him up to 25.
Hear me out. Jason Kidd comes back. Okay, sorry. Starting 5.
Okay, so we add Joel Embiid. And maybe we bring
With
in
one
Nikola Jokic off the bench.
Wow.
Luka,
Okay.
Reeves,
Okay.
Clay,
Wow.
Rui, Gafford.
Yeah. That's not bad.
That's a nice starting 5.
That's
man.
not bad. Yeah.
Again, I really don't think the Mavs would do
They
that.
definitely would not do that.
But I don't know. The Mavs, I guess my point is the Mavs could make the money work. Could we get Max Christie back maybe?
Oh, that might be a...
Maybe more realistic would be Clay, because they just have to move on from Clay. He's the most money. It makes the most sense for them to move off from him.
And I don't think he's performing the way that he's not the Clay that they signed him for.
If LeBron gets traded to the Mavs, that's the way it works.
Yes.
Is Clay is coming to the Lakers. Probably not PJ Washington, probably not Gafford, but I mean, they have Derek Lively, so who knows? But I could see realistically, quote unquote, not real at all, Clay, maybe, I don't know, one of PJ Washington or Gafford for money reasons, and then maybe like Max Christie, Dwight Powell, I don't know.
And then you can get close to the 52.
That's just it's gonna be so hard to get up there. But
yeah, and the way that Mavericks are building, like they would have, I mean, that should have been part of the plan already.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't think they'd be doing some of these moves with the extensions they're doing.
No.
So,
and to be honest,
pipe dream.
Yeah, to be honest, I they say where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't buy it. I don't buy that LeBron James wants to be traded. I don't buy that he is going to be traded. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we brought it up earlier too that it, is this coming from his team to just kind of get things moving with Rob and the organization, kind of push to make more moves and maybe get better players. Could be. But again, who knows what or who's putting these things out.
Two other trades that we didn't mention. We have Jordan Poole going to New Orleans for CJ McCollum. We may have mentioned that in the last episode.
So random.
Super weird. I don't get that for either team. The Wizards have some great locker room guys and veterans like CJ McCollum and the guy from the Bucks, Chris Middleton.
Who just re-upped as well.
Yep. But I don't see that team being very good just by adding CJ McCollum. And then one that I like that you seemed a little hesitant on, Valanciunas for Saric. So Valanciunas ending up on the Nuggets. I think having a legit backup five that has similar skill sets to Jokic as far as he can pass the ball, that's going to be valuable. I see value in that.
I like that. I like him as, you're right, as Jokic is a backup. Now, as a starter for the Lakers or for another team, probably not.
No, he's had a rough go the last few years.
He did not, like last season, he did not look good.
No.
So, in terms of a backup just to fill in some minutes, yeah.
But thank you for sticking with us for pretty much a full hour of free agency talk.
Still kind of fresh, too, so.
Let's just do, I just wanted to do a quick overview of a few select teams of their depth chart.
Yeah.
First up, it's pretty much all Western Conference teams because the West is once again loaded. Nuggets, we have projected starting five, Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic, with highlights off the bench. Valanciunas, like we mentioned, Zeke Naji is okay. Peyton Watson's pretty good. Tim Hardaway off the bench, and of course Bruce Brown off the bench.
That team's good.
I like that team.
They might be.
That's scary, man.
That scares me a lot. Going back to the top. Yeah.
I could see them finishing that season extremely high in the standings.
One thing I think is Jamal Murray's health.
Oh, yeah. Every year it's Jamal Murray's health. But having Bruce Brown, that's a great insurance policy.
Yeah.
They're probably... I feel like this is going to be... Well, OKC. You can't count out OKC. But this is two of the top three in the West. We have next up the Houston Rockets.
Stacked.
Starting five, Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith, and Alperen Şengün. Get that out of here. Get that out of here. Notable backups. Reed Shepard's been doing some stuff. I like him. Cam Whitmore's pretty good. Tari Eason and Dorian Finney-Smith and Jeff Green all in that forward role.
What a great bench.
And then Clint Capella and Steven Adams also as backup centers of
They are stacked.
That team's crazy. I could see Jabari Smith Jr. sliding to the bench somehow. And Alperen Şengün moving down to the 4 with Adams or Clint coming in to start.
Yeah.
That team,
like
we said
wild.
earlier, length and strength, man. That team is going to beat you up.
They subtracted starters and got the ultimate starter.
Dude. It's such a great trade. We talked about it last episode. Such a great trade. Clippers, bit of an interesting look at the Clippers this year. James Harden, pretty much their only true point guard.
Yeah.
Chris Dunn at the 2. Norman Powell at the 3. Kawhi at the 4. Zubats at the 5 with Brooke Lopez off the bench. Nick Batum re-signed with them, so he'll be back. And then Derek Jones and Bogdan Bogdanovic as the 2 main other bench pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like probably going to end up the same as last season for the most part.
Very similar sounding to last season, yeah.
Your Los Angeles Lakers. Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, and DeAndre Ayton. We still have Trey Jemison, who maybe will convert him off that two-way.
Yeah.
Dalton Connect, I hope he gets some more minutes. Jake LaRavia, we'll see what happens there. Vando, Maxi Kleber if he can get healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe Vincent was pretty decent last year. Bronny is still on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
We also picked up Jordan Goodwin's option. So
yes, Jordan Goodwin.
Who was very serviceable.
I really liked him. I would like him to get maybe some more minutes. Maybe Gabe Vincent's minutes, even though
I think that's
Gabe
the guy
Vincent was
to.
good.
Yeah, and I think Gabe Vincent is the guy that they're trying to replace right now. They want like an athletic guard, is what I'm hearing.
We'll see. Kleber can maybe play some stretch 5. He's a little undersized, and his shooting has been pretty bad for a while. But if he can somehow get back to shooting around 35% from 3, be a nice piece. But
yeah,
I still think
that's 11 mil, man, every year.
Same as last year. Still a center away for sure. And Vando needs to get healthy. He just needs to play more basketball.
I agree.
And then moving over to the East, the only team I really have picked that is interesting to me with some good moves, the New York Knicks. Their starting 5, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns. Nothing different from last year. Added Yabusele, like we said. They still have PJ Tucker to wear cool shoes on the bench. And then Jordan Clarkson, Miles McBride, and Mitchell Robinson off the bench. That's a nice bench unit, man.
They're great.
Clarkson's not really like a catch and shoot kind of guy, but him and Deuce McBride might have to share ball handling duties. But having Clarkson to come in and just get to the hole and make some crazy circus shots and stuff, that's gonna be a fun team.
Along with the new coach.
And then your champs, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have not made pretty much any moves as far as I know, but man, they re-signed Jalen Williams, not Jalen Williams. But
Jalen Williams.
But Jalen Williams.
Okay, that signing Jalen Williams makes sense because the other one, Jalen Williams, I don't know if I'd sign Jalen Williams, but I would sign.
You'd sign Jalen Williams?
I would sign that Jalen Williams.
Okay, yeah.
We've done this plenty of times.
Too many times. To death. Here's the horse. It's dead.
Do it again.
Center Jalen Williams. Yeah, he signed a 3-year, $24 million deal. That's a fair deal.
Cheap.
But yeah, Shea, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein. Shea signed a 5-year, $280 million deal. The most
lots of coin there.
Most guaranteed money in NBA history.
Shout out to the Thunder. We did not get to congratulate them. They deserve it. Best team of the season. Obviously in the playoffs too. Their parade was pretty funny. The players got off the bus and like one by one gave the fans high five. It's just I thought
found
was
the way
cool.
into the crowd.
Yeah. Chet was looking for all the
Chet
kids,
jerseys,
and then he was like, "Yeah," and then giving them an extra prop.
That was cool.
That was cool of them. Shout out them, and you suck for being so good.
True that. All right. Well, that is kind of the big NBA free agency coverage.
Yeah.
Thank you for sludging through it with us, trudging through one of those. One of those words.
And for those of you who haven't really caught up, I hope that helped out a lot. So
good little recap. Maybe even a little bit too big of a recap, but
and
better to have more than less.
And hopefully you weren't listening to that on your feet. Feet. You know what you wear on your feet?
Sleep. Shoes.
But how about some kickaroos?
We got some new kickaroozies. Yeah, let's get into the kickaroozies.
Okay.
First up, we got a interesting pair.
A first.
I was gonna ask you that. That's what I thought. A Nike SB and Eric Costin collab, but not on the shoe you might be thinking of.
No.
Air Max 95.
First, I love it.
cool look here at the tongue where it says Costin. Of
Fire.
course, Eric Costin, legendary skater. I love that touch. Bit of a Pacers colorway.
Yeah, kind of, huh?
Here's a side view.
Michigan, if you will.
And some thick material there. That is some, like,
You can tell it's soft.
it's yeah, that's gonna protect you. That's for sure.
I know you're not a huge 95 fan though, right? Not too much.
It's grown on me a
Okay.
lot.
Okay.
So I'm interested in this pair. I don't know if I'd go after it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
A bit of a strange combo of everything, I think.
I haven't owned a 95 in a really long time. This might be the
This is
first
gonna be
one,
the one?
just because I really like it. I love the colors. I was always a huge fan of the Michigan colors.
Are there any technologies in there, this being an SB, anything different?
I'm glad you asked that. This
What is it called in golf where you put the ball?
A T.
I teed
You
you
teed
up.
it up. Thank you. This is the first Nike SB shoe where they used some of the same technology as the Kobe's.
Oh.
So they.
It does look like, is this sole maybe a little thicker, or is that just me?
So
As someone who doesn't know the shoe
that's
very
definitely
well.
where they call it the plate at the bottom of the bottom of the shoe, and that's the same technology that they use on the Kobe shoes. It's obviously a super cushiony material to mix in with a skate
Mm-hmm.
material, obviously to make it more durable. Eric Costin, who is a famous LA skater born in San Bernardino. He's from Thailand, which is why you see the.
I was like, is that Thai
Yeah.
script there?
It's a Thai script embroidery
Very cool.
to represent where he's from, and he switched over from Lakai skating, the skating brand Lakai,
okay.
in 2009 to join Nike SB.
The SB team.
So he's been there with Nike SB for like 15 years now. This is no release date just yet. It's saying holiday 2025.
Okay.
For $190, which is a
About the price of
nice coin.
Yeah.
And like I said, the nice little details. So the mini swoosh in the back, the Thai script embroidery, the Costin on the tongue, and the insole has a like OG 90s Air Max graphic on it, which is
nice.
super
That's
cool
cool.
touch. I'm interested to see what skaters are gonna say skating in a 95.
Just as someone that, I don't skate. Like,
Me neither.
I'm not really in that culture, but it looks pretty durable, with that combination of material and technology. I feel like that should be like a great, expensive, obviously,
Definitely.
but like a great pair if you can get one, to like just bust up.
Yeah, I wonder too with like the air bubble, the air system, and all the technologies of like a basketball shoe like the Kobe can help you in terms of your energy, in terms of how long you're out there skating, or how long your feet last before they get hurt,
Yeah.
something like that. So I wonder, I really would like to hear some of these skaters. I'm sure some of them.
Bang our line.
Eric Costin already was skating in these, so I need to see if he has like a video out talking about these. But really good shoe, man, and also nice to see Nike branching out more with their SB brand,
Yeah.
and branching out to the other OG models.
Yeah, interesting choice. This is I feel like one of the first big collabs for SB that steps away from a Dunk or
Yes,
some of their more traditional silhouettes.
and I think it's when they do things like this that will continue to separate them from the Adidas and the New Balance. So really cool idea by Nike.
Next up, we have another upcoming release, and this one I'm pretty excited about. I like this a lot. We have the newest shoe in his Airnesses line.
Yes.
Michael Jordan himself, the Jordan 40. 40 of them things.
Insane to think that they're at 40, right?
That's pretty nuts.
Wild.
First impressions of this shoe.
To me, very basic looking, like very plain, but plain in a way that is very sleek and elegant. And I like it.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it, actually.
We'll have to put up a photo. On the heel, I believe there's the same kind of Jordan logo style, the same
Yes.
as the 3 and the 4 kind of have.
Mm-hmm.
And then to me, the body, it looks a lot like a 2.
It's a lot like a 2. It's so that's great that you brought that up. It's the 40 is a mash of a lot of the cool technologies and shapes of a lot of the other Jordans. So the heel clip, so the back of the shoe is the Jordan 3. Jumpman logo nods to the Jordan 4 that you brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Or Jordan 12, I'm sorry. The bone line drawing from the outer part, so the top up here, that's from the 14, and then the extra long tongue is from the 5.
I mean, the tongue is too cool how it's kind of ribbed like that.
And it kind of comes up. And it kind of comes up like this.
Yeah. I like, you can kind of see it here, but we'll have to get a better picture. You can see the sole, and it looks like there's maybe a little Jumpman sneak out there.
Mm-hmm. Cool detail.
Nike has been, I love, like, we talk about LeBron, the soles on the 22 and the 21, how crazy grippy they look and just how intricate they are, and this looks like it's going to be in that same
For
vein.
sure. This is a zoom technology, that's why.
Is this the first time that there's been zoom in a Jordan? I thought I maybe read that.
I think that's right. I didn't see, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Series,
yeah, because they usually put a different one, or like especially like in the Lucas, that's a different technology as well.
Well, I mean in like a Jordan
the numbered series, yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the first time. This is part of the 40 Years of Greatness campaign, starting in July. There's going to be. This is one of the first colorways. There's going to be a total of 9. 3 colorways
9.
3 colorways to look out for are the classic,
which is what we have up.
Yes, blue suede, which is coming out on August 20. That's probably gonna be butter. Dusty Rose on
that one. That one
September
looks
20th.
nice.
That's gonna be us in our pinks and baby blues.
Seriously.
And will be worn by Mr. Paolo Banchero himself from the Orlando Magic.
Well, I've got news for you, buddy. These have already been worn, and we will get to that a little later in a game.
Mm-hmm.
I like these a lot. I think that's gonna, it's an exciting new part of Jordan, new shoe to add to the lineup. So
good milestone, right? 40.
Yeah, these are gonna be $205 when they do end up coming out a little later this summer, though. So pay up,
and. Let us know how they are.
Please.
They look fun to ball in, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
They look super nice. Very plain, I feel like, compared to the last few Jordans that we've covered since we started doing the show.
Mm-hmm. We like to bring up too that if a basketball shoe can also be worn casually, it kind of adds the versatility to it. And this, I would wear it to the mall.
This is close. I could see it depending on the colorway. Like wearing it out. It kind of reminds me of kind of like some of the Kobe Adidas series.
Yes,
slightly, just with this kind of big blank canvas here. I feel like that was a kind of a feature of some of the after the first pair of Adidas Kobe's. The Crazy 2 and the Crazy 3. It kind of gives me that kind of feeling.
I love that the first colorway is like a nice, they call it the classic, and it's just a nice black and white.
Surprisingly, no red. You would think that would be kind of classic.
Also true, yeah.
Like, I am right when it comes to all design choices, like we mentioned last week. But can you imagine if the Jumpman was red?
Oh, wow.
Get out of here.
Uh-huh.
I actually do like a lot that it's just black and white, though.
Yeah, me too. It makes it more like you wear a lot with it. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Last up for new releases, we have another upcoming, yet to be released pair.
Probably the craziest of the 3.
Super crazy. The Nike Jaw 3 Hustle and Flow, which is crazy to see. This is one of the first official looks of this shoe that's been out. So it's crazy to see that it's in this insane colorway.
See, there's the Zoom X again.
Yep.
Which is on the Jordan 40. I love that you showed this picture first because I wanted to talk about one of the details that I know that we'll like. The standing swoosh is an actor acting as the J.
The J.
And you have the A right here.
For jaw.
For jaw.
Jaw.
For jaw, yeah.
You brought it up before, too. It looks like claw marks.
Grizzlies.
Which would be super awkward if he got moved, but I don't think he will.
No.
But super cool touch. Very Charles Barkley-like. They're a little much. They're a little much.
They're loud.
Bright colors and then so many different changes in material, which normally we like our different materials, but it's like
the sole goes all the way up halfway through the shoe.
Yeah, it's like studded almost with these little markers.
Which shoe do you like better?
The blue.
Oh, I like that one better.
Really?
You know what does it for me?
Little mini copper drop right here.
That's right. You know what did it for me is the red lace. I like the red one on the orange.
Yeah, that's nice. I see.
This purple's fire though.
I like that they have this kind of orange. Like I like that the colorways go together.
Yeah.
In the checks, but I feel like I don't know. I like this body with the check better than the other way around.
Fair enough. Again, a cool pair with multicolored, so people are also calling it the what the jaw.
Kinda, yeah.
But what doesn't make it a what the is not. These aren't colors or pieces from the other models or from the other shoes.
Well, even just they're not seemingly like random, you know. So,
Nike chose the grizzly bear scratch graphic as the centerpiece of this low-cut design, as you can see throughout the whole shoe.
Can you imagine walking around trying to sneak up on somebody in these?
Mm-hmm.
They get so grippy.
Also cool with this is the TPU patterned unit at the bottom here. Inside the sole is also taken from the Kobe's. So Kobe's are having a huge influence on a lot of the basketball shoes that are being worn today, which is cool that it's on the jaw. I don't know if he's a Kobe fan at all, but I'm sure they told him, hey, this will be better for your shoe. Just do it.
It's kind of interesting that we're on Ja's third shoe, and like he's had obviously so many problems on and off the court.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think Nike was really banking on him to be one of their next big guys. And maybe he still will be. I mean, he's still incredibly popular. But then you look at a guy like D-Book, who's been rocking the Book 1 for he's going on his third season.
Mm-hmm. Still going, too.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see that comparison.
I found somebody leaked the
Book 2.
I do not like it. We'll get to that, guys.
Do you like the movie Hustle and Flow?
I do.
I have never seen it.
You've never seen it?
No.
Whoop that. I don't want to say it.
Trick? Is that where?
That's
wow.
Where, yeah.
Is that where that comes from?
Yes, exactly, dude.
You got any release info on these bad boys?
Rumored in August, so next month. Not too sure exactly what day. I'm sure there's gonna be a crazy release for these besides the sneakers, just because the shoe is crazy. For $130, not bad.
Not bad at all. Which is funny because the Ja 2 Kool-Aid pack is coming out, or they did come out just like a few weeks ago. So he's having a lot of releases.
So can we agree that we like the 2 a little better?
Yeah.
I like it. Don't get me wrong.
Crazy.
I like it, but I like the 2 better.
But that is it for new releases. So it must be time for the police. Roxanne.
You don't have to put on a red shoe. Oh.
Copper drop.
Yes.
We always make it
my favorite.
Obvious what's happening.
Yes. Or do we?
Copper drop, and this time we are changing it up.
Oh, again? Okay.
Another, I'm throwing a curveball at you. A very cool upcoming collaboration between Nike. It's been all Nike this episode so far.
We're not biased.
We've got a 3-way copper drop here.
3-way? Oh, why would you do this?
Air Max 95 and Levi's collection that is coming out on July 11th. As of now, it seems like on sneakers, it's only the black and white pair for whatever reason. But I did read on Levi's website, they're actually going to have it a day earlier, July 10th. Don't tell anybody. I'm imagining that that's where the classic denim pair will be released since it's not on sneakers yet. But maybe they'll do a shock drop. I guess we'll see. But a very cool collab. I wanted to put you through your paces on. I don't know. Pretty crazy collab.
Every Levi's collab, like, smacks.
How many collabs has this been now? How many shoes have they done?
So they have a Dunk, which is in the thousands. They have the two Jordan 4s that are about $850 each. There's a white one that's like $1,500. I'm gonna imagine that these three will be very, very expensive on the aftermarket, just because they always kill it. They do such a good design. Air Max 95 on the way back, following the steps of the Air Max 90 and the Air Max 1 that have been coming out this whole year. That blue pair is for sure gonna be like their special one.
That's been,
Yeah.
I think, the one people have been eyeing the most.
And I think maybe the one most wanted.
Yeah, obviously we're about a week out from the official release, but on sneakers, the blue pair is going for about a rack.
Can I give you a ranking of how I want
I'll do a ranking
instead of
in
a
the
copying
special
and
copper
dropping?
drop. Yeah.
Yeah?
Rank or tank?
I'm going to go blue. Oh, wow. Blue. Oh, wow. This is tough. Blue. White, black.
Had to be
That
done.
was tough.
Had
That
to
was
be
tough.
done.
That was really hard. How about you?
I think I'm going white,
Okay.
blue, black.
You can definitely go that way too. And that's not making fun of this,
No,
'cause this
the
pair
black is
fire.
actually probably the easiest to just wear.
Yes.
Like if you wanted to kind of flex but be a little subtle about it, the black's definitely the way to go.
This is the stunner though, right here.
This is the stunner, but the white pair with the gum sole, come on, man. Come on. It's like a cream,
You're a sucker
too.
for you're a sucker for
man. But the denim, I mean, if you're doing a Levi's collab, it's got to be blue jean denim.
Yeah.
That's you got to have that. But yeah, the white pair is definitely a pair that I could see coming home.
Okay, that's the question. My next question: which one are you going for?
Probably, I'm definitely going to be checking the Levi's website early on the 10th to see what's what. But since these two, at least for now, are the ones being released through sneakers,
Yeah.
I'll probably go for the white pair.
Yeah.
Try and bring that home. I like that a lot. I can see that being thrown into my everyday
Fire.
wears.
I, on the other hand, will probably go for all three and just go like this.
You never know.
Because you're probably only going to hit on one.
Yeah, probably.
And I'll just be happy with whatever I get.
But thank you for copying and dropping. I was excited about this one.
You don't make it easy.
I was excited about this one.
You
And this is one of the more recent Nike collaborations that I am
Excited for.
super excited about.
Don't forget, on the 12th, Shattereds. So maybe you might have to pick, dude.
I will go into my savings.
I don't like food.
Sorry, son.
I don't
You're
like
not going to college.
I don't eat dinner anymore.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on the Shatter Backboards to be listed on sneakers. You sent me that post that they might come out in August. I'm a little
Tricking us,
I'm not
bro.
worried, but I'm just anxious of I don't want to miss.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss out.
I don't either.
So we'll see. But
Thank you for that.
a lot of heat this summer. It's a hot summer.
Yes.
Tag us. Let us know if you guys hit on anything. We'd love to know.
Yeah, show us what you hit on.
Show us what you got. Time for heat on feet. We're doing it's ladies' night on Sneaks and Stats.
Yeah.
WNBA time, baby. It's in full swing. First up, we have Nafisa Collier, who is in the Jordan 40. She wore the Classic.
How do you like them on foot?
Dope.
Fire.
Dude,
Even
that
better.
is a nice
Even better.
looking basketball shoe, bro. Lots of heat in this picture, man.
Freaking GT cut.
GT cut. That's I think the Jordan Poole one, the Valentine's Day one.
Yes. And then a KD.
And then I think that's KD 17.
Yes. 17.
It's a nice colorway though. That purple
With the
gradient
white.
into the white. Oh man.
Ladies be wearing the heat, man.
This was a while ago. This was the 27th. Here is a closer look on foot.
Oh, they're definitely better on foot.
Yeah, they're nice, man. Nafisa Collier finished with 26 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks with 4 turnovers and 5 fouls in the Lynx win 96-92 over the Dream. Brittany Griner for the Dream had 16 points and 7 rebounds.
Okay.
Shout out to the Lynx. They lost in the Commissioner's Cup finale to the Fever pretty unexpectedly. That's a tough loss for them for sure. Caitlin Clark not playing. She's dealing with a groin injury, so tough loss for sure.
That
they're
hurts.
having a great season. I
Yeah.
think that was only their 3rd loss of the year or something.
geez.
2nd or 3rd. They're balling out.
Killing it.
I just wanted to point out that Nafisa Collier has switched back to the Jordan Air series.
I like those.
This is a
lot.
PE. They have a few different colorways of the Jordan Air series out online right now, but this is
I like
pretty
those a
crazy
lot.
colorway. And this is what she's been wearing most of the season. So, but a little detour in the Jordan 40, but this is
Fire.
a nice pair, man. But next up, we have the the rookie of the year. There's pretty much no doubt about it. She's balling out. Paige Bueckers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
She is wearing a GT Cut 3 Turbo PE in the... it's really almost more of a Mavs colorway than the Wings colorway, but
even
enough.
looks like it could be purplish.
It's I'll get
Or
a
is it
close up
blue?
here. It's a
blue.
pretty
There you go.
vibrant
Okay.
blue.
Look at that tongue.
Man, I like the GT Cut, man. And look at that standing check.
Might be even one of the nicest shaped.
The Cut 3 is
silhouettes.
so nice, and I
Look
love
at that.
I love the kind of ribbed layering throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like on the heel back there and
Sick.
the body, and then even on the tongue, it's got those ripples going. So.
You said it's the GT Cut Turbo?
GT Cut 3 Turbo.
It's
and
definitely like on GT Cut on steroids.
yeah, man, it's crazy.
That is super nice.
That is a performance basketball shoe.
Man, if
I'm not gonna lie though, I would wear this pair to a Dodgers game.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah, why not? I was just going to say, I wish I still played ball. I would definitely buy those.
Paige has been playing ball, and she has been balling out. This is also from the 27th. The Wings lost to the Fever 86-94. Kaylin Clark did not play. Last time they played against each other, fun fact, was the 2024 NCAA tourney. They played in the semifinals, so still haven't matched up in the WNBA yet, but that's going to be a fun. That's always going to be a fun.
It's going to happen.
Paige finished with 27 points, which was a team high.
Damn.
1 rebound, 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, no turnovers, and no fouls. 9 for 18 from the field. She's balling out, man. 18.5 a game right now. She leads her team in scoring. Just having a great year.
She's so good.
The Wings are not very good. They've only got 5 wins so far.
Mm-hmm.
She has been injured. Probably going to be out for a little bit with some knee soreness, which is something to keep an eye on. You know, she had a pretty injury-riddled college career, so hopefully this is just something minor and there's no more injuries.
Yeah,
you
want to see her playing, and hopefully, I wonder too if a lot of it is just the adrenaline of playing and finally in the WNBA too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, she's been balling. Fire pair, probably one of the best we've covered in a while. And then last up, we have another cool pair with another player who's just been balling out. Angel Reese, love her or hate her, she's balling.
Player of the month.
Yeah, man, she's been on a tear.
Against
proving the haters
our
wrong, for
Sparks,
sure. Who have been on the opposite of a tear.
Yeah,
they've been
they're tearing.
They're tear e-bowl. They really shouldn't be that bad either. So
they should. With the team they had, we expected more. But
you pointed out a few episodes ago, Cameron Brink has yet to take the floor, so that's a big piece that's missing. But Kay Jackson's good. Mm-hmm. Dearica Hamby's good. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Kelsey Plum was a big addition this year, and she's a dog. So I don't know what's going on. Something's going on because they also only have 5 wins, which is
not good at all.
Pretty darn bad. And this was another one. This was a close one that the Sparks were leading in the fourth quarter, but the Sky came back. This was from June 29th. The Sky won 92-85. Couple big. That was that you sent me that clip of those big and ones.
Yeah.
So just tough. This was also Candace Parker's jersey retirement night for the Sparks. Shout out to CP3, the second CP3.
The other CP3.
CP3 too.
Yeah.
Candace Parker, my goat.
Yep.
She's the best. I love Candace Parker.
She was amazing.
She was a beast. Only player in the WNBA to win Rookie of the Year and MVP.
Oh my lordy.
Angel Reese, though, doing her thing. 24 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, 4 turnovers, 5 fouls, and 10 of 19 from the field. So
just want to give our old buddy RJ from my work. That's his favorite WNBA player. Shout out RJ.
Shout out RJ. Shout out Angel Reese. Kelsey Plum finished with 22, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. Dearica Hamby, 20 points and 10 rebounds for the Sparks as well. So I don't really get it, man. The stats are there. So
just not producing
something's
wins.
Not clicking, yeah. But that is it. That's all I had.
Damn.
Here's a closer look.
Those are sick, too.
Her signature logo up there as well.
Man, shout out Reebok.
This is the Reebok Engine A.
Okay.
This is a PE for her.
Those are super nice. The bottom kind of reminds me of a Puma, almost like a Mellow.
Yeah, definitely.
The Mellow. Very.
Or a LeBron 21.
Even though 21 looks similar, it's very like the design is insane.
Look at that tongue, dude.
The tongue is big.
The tongue is the size of my face.
The design, I mean, so many different things going on. I like the two-tone. I love the back of the shoe with these circles things going on in the back. Just a great. Reebok did great on that. Yeah. Good job to them. Good job to Angel Reese too. Let's stop all the Angel Reese hate, please.
She's proven the haters wrong, man. She's balling out. But that's it. That's all she wrote.
And before we go, I got some cool stats for you that I'm going to try to stump you with. It's time for your favorite game, Stump the Statty. Okay.
We're going to get sued by CBS.
CBS for sure. Don't look.
Wilt Chamberlain.
All the records, I can't use any of them because he has all of them.
Let's use the second place guy.
So these are really tough. And I don't know if you know this first guy. I might have you stumped on this first one. But let's see. Most consecutive free throws made with 97. And in a span of 2 seasons. So he probably made like 45 and then
ended the season that way, and then
but he made 97 in a row over 2 seasons.
Is it not Steph?
March 24, 1993.
Oh.
So
okay, that's gonna be tough.
This guy's name is a name of a player already who we've spoken about on here a little bit, but kind of hard to say. The player that we talked about on here has 3 names.
Karl Anthony Towns.
No. He was a point guard for the Sixers. He was also on the Magic.
Oh, Rookie of the Year?
Who?
What's his name? Steals Michael Carter Williams.
Take out the middle name?
Michael Williams?
That's the guy who made it.
Definitely wouldn't have got that one.
That's the guy who holds the record. That's impressive, bro.
Insane.
That's impressive. Another consecutive stat for you, and this is great.
Consecutive statty stump.
I loved it.
1.
No, you might get this one. This one's great. Most consecutive 3-pointers made, and it's not Steph Curry.
In one game? I guess it was probably a
consecutively.
Couple games.
Oh, this is actually in one game.
Was it JJ Redick?
No. Think guard.
Kyle Korver.
No.
I feel like it was someone.
Point guard. Think a Nugget.
Emmanuel Mudiay.
No, but good guess.
Jameer Nelson.
No.
Who was there before? Who was that one guy that was pretty good? Ty Lawson.
Ty Lawson with 10.
10 threes in a row.
But
that's impressive.
That is very impressive. And Steph Curry does hold the record for most games with a 3, spanning over 268 games.
Get that out of here.
3 seasons, bro. He had at least 1 3.
That's stupid.
This is a funny one that I think you would like, and I think you can also get. Most ejections for a coach.
Career?
Yeah, all time.
Most ejections.
Think of a long tenured coaches.
I would have to guess. Also Nuggets. What's his name? George Karl.
No.
He always was a little testy.
We talked about the team he coached earlier.
Today?
Yes. Older coach.
Is he still coaching?
He coached 2 teams that I know of, at least. Mavericks and Warriors.
Donnie Nelson, baby. Don Nelson.
With 79 ejections. That's a lot, right? That's almost a season's worth.
Don Nelson, quick. That is a season's worth of ejections. As a coach, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Don Nelson, he got a Lifetime Achievement Award from the NBA during the finals.
Deserves it.
Dude, his fingerprints are on way more things than I thought. He's the one that wanted to trade for Dirk because his son, Donnie Nelson, was a prominent GM specifically for the Mavericks and was still there, I think, up until recently. Brought in Dirk, so that's crazy.
Fire.
They also orchestrated the trade for Steve Nash when they got him. I think the same offseason, which is nuts. And then Don Nelson strongly encouraged the Warriors when he was coaching them at the end of his coaching career to draft Mr. Stephen Curry.
Wow. Dude, he's...
one of the all-time basketball minds.
Gotta thank him, man. Dude, yeah he's a legend, bro, right?
Super legend.
He was the We Believe Warriors coach.
Second or third most wins all time, something like that.
Dude, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, crazy.
Ridiculous
That's a good one.
stat.
I like that one. That is a fun one. 79 injections.
Yeah, and then one bonus one just for funsies. This is also fire. Most technical fouls as a player and a coach. This is ridiculous, by the way.
Most technical fouls as a player and a coach. Jay
Another
Kidd?
long-timey coach.
Pat Riley.
No.
I'm surprised by that.
Oh, West Coast for sure. West Coast battled lots of battles with the Lakers. Has had 2 Hall of Famers
Larry Bird.
on his team. No, West.
Yeah, I guess he's not West Coast at all.
Had 2 Hall of Famers on his team for a long time.
Phil Jackson.
No.
Mark Jackson.
No. A lot, like think older coach. Been there for a while. Was with this team for a really long time. Like Pop.
Portland? Somewhere in Portland?
No.
I don't know.
Jerry Sloan.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Combined player and a coach, he has 446 technicals.
Wow.
446. He's a pretty fiery guy.
Yeah, he was a fiery guy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He was pissed at Darren Williams. Darren Williams
Dude,
made him retire.
I know.
That's nuts.
Insane.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Jerry Sloan, super legend.
Again, super legend along with Don Nelson. But again, I'm running, when I'm looking these up, I'm like, okay, they're going to get more and more obscure.
Most rebounds with his left hand.
Like last week, what did I have? The most successful 60th pick.
Yeah, that was pretty random.
Yeah. But that's all I got.
All right. You stumped me pretty hard across the board.
Michael Williams is kind of bad, but I mean, the cool stat though.
Yeah,
right?
very cool stat. Impressive. Super impressive.
By the time you guys watch this, Mr. Kershaw will probably have his 3,000 strikeout. So
Let's go watch it.
shout out Kershaw. Let's go.
It's right now.
Yes, go Dodgers. Also, stay tuned for more content on our YouTube channel and our social media. We got some cool and funny stuff coming up for you. And thank you for watching and listening. And we'll catch you next time on the Flippity Floppity.
Fire.
Was that good?
Yeah.
I just wanted to get it over before I think about it too much.